everyone, I'm Mrs. Wright and I'm so excited to be learning with you. Today, you're going to need a writing utensil and paper to jot down some ideas. So go ahead and get that out. While you grab your items, I'll go and get mine. I'm back with my paper and writing utensil. I grabbed a marker, but a pencil or a pen, crayon, those all work fine too. Today, we're going to dive into the world of informational text. When you hear the word informational, what other word do you hear in it? Shout it out to me, I'm listening. Great job, that's right, you hear information. The purpose of informational text is to provide facts and information about our world. What informational text have you read recently? Nice, okay. When I woke up this morning, I read an article in the newspaper about a local recycling program. Most newspaper articles are considered informational text since their purpose is to provide readers with facts about their world. Other types of informational text that you might engage with are books or articles on current events, science, history, math, or other art topics. Even graphs, charts, maps, and photographs can be considered informational text. Informational texts are all around us, so it's important that we as readers can read them and understand them. And that's what we're going to be doing today by focusing on it as text detectives. So here we go. Today, we are going to read through an informational text and summarize the important parts. Our informational text is about a famous African-American athlete named Jackie Robinson. Have you heard of him? Give me a thumbs up if you have, or a thumbs down if you haven't. Okay, so I see that some of us have our thumbs up, thumbs down, so maybe some have heard of him, some have not. That's okay. Whether you have heard of him or not, you are in for a treat to learn more about him today. As we read our informational text today, we're going to be summarizing each paragraph. Learning to summarize is a very important skill, my text detective friends. It helps us to determine the most important ideas in a text, how to ignore irrelevant or unimportant information, and how to organize the central ideas of a text in a meaningful way. Summarizing also improves our memory for what is read. As close readers of informational text, we have lots of jobs to do. One of those jobs is summarize the main points of what we are reading. But before we even summarize, let's just talk about what it means to summarize. Give me a thumbs up if you know what a summary is, or a thumbs down if you're not really sure. No matter where you are, that's okay. Thumbs up are fine, thumbs down are fine too. But you may remember that we talked about summarizing poetry in a previous lesson. So let's take out our notes from that lesson to review what summarizing is. When we summarize a text, we write a brief statement highlighting its main points. So a summary is a brief statement that tells us what a text is mostly about. So as we read Jackie Robinson together today, we're going to write down the main points from the text that tell us what it is mostly about. We'll start by reading paragraph 1 of our text while asking ourselves, what is a paragraph mostly about? Let's take a look at paragraph 1. Jackie Robinson is well known for being the first black baseball player in the major leagues. But his career started well before then. He was born in Georgia in 1919. His family members worked as sharecroppers. His family was the first black family living on the block, but the hate and discrimination they faced allowed his family to develop a strong connection. Now, we're going to think back to the text and determine what the main points were in this paragraph. First, I'm going to share my thoughts with you as a model for how to summarize. So what was paragraph 1 mostly about? As I was reading, I noticed the topic sentence lets me know that Jackie Robinson was a famous Major League Baseball player, but that his story starts way before that. So I know that any summary of this paragraph needs to focus on Jackie's life before becoming a famous baseball player. The rest of the paragraph shares details about how he grew up and the challenges that he and his family face because of the color of their skin. From this topic, sentence, and details, the important idea from this paragraph is that before Jackie Robinson became a famous baseball player, his childhood was marked by challenges because he was Black. So to create the summary that I just told you, I had to identify what the author deemed to be the most important part in this paragraph. I did this by rereading the topic sentence and making an inference about what it was telling me. I then had to reread the detail sentences from the paragraph and determine the common thread or message between them. Now, we're going to summarize paragraph 2 together, and then you'll work more independently to summarize paragraph 3. Let's start by reading paragraph 2 of our text while asking ourselves, what is this paragraph mostly about? Here we go, paragraph 2. Jackie always succeeded in sports, so it is no surprise that he was able to use his sports talents to combine it with his advocacy to change the world of Major League Baseball, a racially segregated sport. The Negro Leagues were reserved for Black players, while the Major Leagues were reserved for white players. Baseball was separated by race until a gentleman named Branch Rickey, president of the Brooklyn Dodgers, approached Jackie Robinson to work with him to integrate the world of baseball. Branch Rickey and Jackie Robinson teamed together to do what had not been done before: integrate the Major League Baseball world. So friends, now that we've read paragraph 2, it's time to summarize or answer, what is this paragraph mostly about? So how should we start? That's right. Let's start by rereading the topic sentence to determine what the author deems most important. Here we go. The topic sentence says, it's the first sentence, and it says, Jackie always succeeded in sports, so it is no surprise that he was able to use his sports talents to combine it with his advocacy to change the world of Major League Baseball, a racially segregated sport. So friends, I want you to go ahead and take a moment to jot down on your paper, what is this topic sentence telling us about what the author deems most important in this paragraph? And I'll do the same. Go ahead and jot it down. So what did you come up with? I'm listening. Awesome. I think mine is really similar. I wrote, Jackie Robinson used his talent and popularity as a sports star to advocate for racial equality. Now, let's reread the detail sentences to see if there's anything else we should add to our summary. Here we go. The detail sentences are the next part of our paragraph, the rest of our paragraph. The Negro Leagues were reserved for Black players while the Major Leagues were reserved for white players. Baseball was separated by race until a gentleman named Branch Rickey, president of the Brooklyn Dodgers, approached Jackie Robinson to work with him to integrate the world of baseball. Branch Rickey and Jackie Robinson teamed together to do what had not been done before: integrate the Major League Baseball world. Did you change or add anything to your summary after reading that? I did. I realized after reading more about the separation of the Negro League and Major League Baseball and the work that Jackie did with Branch Rickey to integrate the sport that I need to add more specifics to my summary. So here's my summary now. Jackie Robinson used his talent and popularity as a sports star to advocate for racial equality through the integration of Major League Baseball. All right. Now it's time for you to summarize paragraph 3 on your own. Remember that while you're reading the paragraph, you're asking yourself, what is this paragraph mostly about? While you work on your summary, I'll work on my own. Let's take a look at paragraph 3 before we get started. Doing this would be no easy feat. Lots of fans did not agree. Jackie was met with boos, negativity, and even threats of violence. Through it all, he remained unshaken. He stood tall in the face of adversity. He stood up to the negativity with the support of his family. His wife Rachel was his backbone. She supported him and was the apple of his eye. She had a heart of gold and always encouraged Jackie to ignore the negativity and to stand tall. There would be no Jackie Robinson without the love and support of his wife Rachel. So go ahead and you write your summary of paragraph 3. So, what is this paragraph mostly about? Go ahead and read me what you got. Nice work. So my summary is very similar to paragraph 3. I wrote, working to integrate Major League Baseball was very challenging, but Jackie and his wife Rachel remained courageous in the face of adversity. I used a topic sentence as my starting point for the summary and knew from reading it that the author's main point for this paragraph was to highlight how tough integrating Major League Baseball was for Jackie. The detailed sentence in this paragraph provided me with information on how Jackie persevered and how his wife supported him through it all. If your summary for paragraph 3 is a bit different, that's okay. Just make sure yours is supported by textual evidence. Let's go ahead and put our paragraph 3 summary together and read it to make sure it captures all the main ideas from this text. Here we go. Let's put all of our summaries together. Before Jackie Robinson became a famous baseball player, his childhood was marked by challenges because he was Black. Jackie used his talent and popularity as a sports star to advocate for racial equity through the integration of Major League Baseball. Working to integrate Major League Baseball was very challenging, but Jackie and his wife, Rachel, remained courageous in the face of adversity. Give me a thumbs up if that summary captures the author's main points. Awesome job! Wow, great job again today, text detectives. Let's review what we've learned. Today, we reviewed what a summary is. A summary is a brief statement that tells what a text is mostly about. We also learned how to summarize informational text by asking ourselves, what is this text mostly about? As we read each paragraph and by paying attention to the author's main point in each paragraph's topic sentence. As you read, watch, and listen to informational text today, try to summarize the text's main points. Thank you so much for tuning into today's lesson. I look forward to learning again with you soon. Bye!